Look at this. So who is this lady? I don't know who this lady is, but she has a point.
Can someone explain to us in the frequency of Karen Nyamo how Rigathi Gachagua, who was a DO and a personal assistant and a one-term MP, has managed to buy hotels worth 3.5 billion in less than 2 years, has managed to construct flats on Riara Road worth 1.1 billion in less than 2 years? How is that mathing? Remember when people were complaining about the excessive budget in his office, the funding of his wife's, Dorcas Rigathi's, unconstitutional office, all this money that from our national budget that were going to these two offices was going to fund their two personal projects. For this person, who is a manic kleptomaniac, coming to Mount Kenya to start seeking sympathy, where was he when the Gen Zs were being killed? Where was he when women were killed and put in sacks? Where was he during the femicide protests? He was busy dipping his hands into public coffers and stealing. When Rigathi Gachagua was a district officer, he foresaw and presided over the mass evictions of Kikuyus in Molo, even killings, caused untold sufferings for Kikuyus in Limuru. At no point has Rigathi Gachagua ever had the interest of Mount Kenya at heart. He has always sought personal gain for himself and never for Mount Kenya people. At one point, he even attempted to kill Matiba's wife unsuccessfully. There is nothing good or positive about Rigathi Gachagua. In fact, it is so unfortunate that Mount Kenya can give their ears to Moishiro Guaruto Oyo. Why would we do that? Rigathi Gachagua is overestimating his importance simply because you are a conspicuous flower girl at a wedding does not make you relevant. Ruto would still have garnered the votes in Mount Kenya whether you were chosen as a running mate or not.
Ado kirima, watu mlima, msiguze mlima. As a conversation that's happening around the country. So I just came across this video, and this lady has a lot of sense, 100%. For me, I will not really discuss on the assets, how much or how worth, the worth of the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the guy who's been impeached by the members of parliament. But I like us to look at few things, just a very few details. So the lady on the video is talking about how much Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has accumulated within the 2 years they've been in office. Before he became an MP, he was a DO times a Moi. He was a PA, I think, to Moi or something. Then he came kaingia politics, and then immediately ameshakuwa MP, ndio huyo DP. Okay, before maybe he became the DP, of course he had some assets. Maybe he has that billion they were discussing when they were discussing the issue of choosing the running mate. You at least you have to have some cash, you see. But now the Deputy President is alleged to have acquired hotels worth 3.5 billion in 2 years. Miakairi, 2 years. Look at this. There's some hotels that have been mentioned. I think Outspan, Treetop, Olive Gardens, somewhere in Hurlingham, I think. Others I don't know where. And then there's this MP who was on national media, national TV, and he talked something very interesting. He said that on your way to Nyeri, you see that route, there's some fancy hotels. And he mentioned that like almost 90% of those hotels belong to DP. I don't have evidence to that, but it's alleged that almost 90% of those fancy hotels belong to the DP. Whatever the DP owns, that's not the issue here. The issue here is the issue of impeachment, because now this issue has been brought to the attention of Kenyans, and the way the Kenyans are, wameanza ile kitu mtu wetu, especially watu wa mlima. Ado akirima, mnanisikia? So right now watu wa mlima, they're not even looking at the DP whether ameiba pesa za Kenyans, the taxpayers money. All they're looking at is mtu wetu, wanataka kutoa mtu wetu. Kwa nini? Our thief, this is our thief, we must protect our thief. You know, now the conversation is shifting from what is happening in this country. The country is being looted, and I keep telling guys, this issue of impeachment, whether it's a real deal or whatever, whether it's going to happen or not, it's a diversion. Because these guys, they know what they're doing. They are doing a diversion because something big is coming, and as you are aware, there's also something big which is going on, like the Adani and the JKIA airport. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, because there's a video I'm doing about Adani. What exactly is happening to our JKIA. So subscribe, and the next video it will be about our president and the whole project of Adani and that kind of thing. But right now we are on the DP, the deputy president. The deputy president, people know that there was a budget. I don't know if it was called the spouse budget. There was some millions of money that were going to the first lady, Rachel Ruto, and then there was another huge budget of millions also going to the wife of the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua. And then Kenyans questioned this budget. What is it for? Are they doing anything to Kenyans? You know, in the time of Unye, we saw the wife of Unye, Margaret. She was doing projects here, left, right, and center. She was active. But then these ladies, without due respect, we haven't seen much of them. And then this whole, these huge budgets, these millions, were being directed to their accounts. For what? Millions and millions. This is the kind of money I think maybe they're using to buy these hotels, as it's being alleged. And this issue brought a lot of concern to Kenyans. It was even part of what made Kenyans get furious about this government. Millions and millions disappearing to we don't know where. And they were calling it, there's a term, budgeted corruption. Now, the very same deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, amekuwa kitetea mlima, anasema mlima isiguzwe. Then watu wa mlima wanasema huu ni mtu wao, asiguzwe, don't touch Rigathi Gachagua. But Kenyans, let's look into this issue with the third eye. This guy, who si mtu hohe, this is a billionaire, almost a trillionaire. The kind of money these two guys have, the deputy and the president, right now. These guys, even if more impeach, they have so much money. You see, the money we say that can last you for generations, not even years, generations. Si watu wa kuhurumiwa. The people wenye wanafaa kuhurumiwa ni sisi wa Kenya, ni Wanjiko, Adoa Kirima. So before you look at these guys and say, huyu mtu wetu msimpige, just look at yourself. How much are you suffering because of the mistakes of these leaders? Both the president, the deputy president. Let's not look at Adoa Kirima. Let's not say ati huyu mtu ni wetu, ati DP asiguzwe, mlima isiguzwe, yes, but individuals wacha waguzwe, ndo wasikie the pain the Kenyans are feeling. So let us not get too much involved ati the deputy is being impeached. Sasa nani ataongoza mlima? There are many leaders who can lead us, not just the old folks who have been there and there. You know, you're being recycling leaders. There are people who can lead the mountain. Kunao people I know, they have the brains, they have the capacity, wakona uwezo, they can lead the mountain. So this issue of now ati Rigathi atatolewa, ati Kindiki atakuja, and then people are saying, hey, Kindiki, yes ni wa mlima, but ni wa ile side ingine, hey, huyu mtu ni wa hii side yetu. Yani people get confused by these small politics, which are, according to me, these are diversion tactics. Isn't it diversion? They want our mind to be so much focused on the impeachment and the whole shenanigans of this the DP, so that we forget the main issues. And the main issues are how our country is being looted. The issue of Adani, the airport deal. The other issues of the privatization of the buildings like the KSCC and those, and a lot more. And you've seen this young man, Morara. He has been highlighting some of the damages done by this government. Projects being launched and then they are ghosted. So no one ever go back there. They just did some launching, colorful launching, and then they disappeared. And then money also disappeared with them. So let's think about that before we start fighting each other at mtu wetu na nini. Let's stop this issue of mtu wetu na nini. There's no better thief. Mwizi ni mwizi. Let us focus on making our country better again. Sawa sawa Kenya. So thank you. This is Waithombe Njoki. Just touching kidogo on these issues that affect us as Kenyans.